Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world, it's the world of Wayne. We now got part 21 of Hachette Partworks, Build the Spitfire Mk1a. Now this is going to be excellent. We're pretty much finishing the cockpit area off by installing the seat, which we made previously in the last issue, looking like that, into the cockpit, which at the moment is looking just like that. I am just conscious looking at the next stage that we've got a bit of the fuselage and we're not doing, let me show you actually, we're not doing anything with it. So we've got this part coming, which we've just got to put to one side, but I will still do a video. I think I'll go through what we've done and where we are up to at the moment. Anyway, let's show you what we've got to do. As you can see, we've actually got the base that the seat's going to be sitting on for the cockpit, for the pilot's chair, sorry. Lots of screws and a few other details there. So we're going to be putting these details in, which means we're going to need the sprues that we saved from the last stage, looking just like that. I've kept them safe. And then when they're in, as you can see, lots of little details actually to go in here. We're going to be mounting the chair to that base there, and then we're going to be putting the whole thing together. So when it's finished, how impressive does that look? Really good, doesn't it? But as I said, there's not really much to do in the next issue, and believe me, I know what there is when there's not much to do. If you saw my live stream last night, we managed to do a speed build, which was 7 episodes of the X-Wing in under an hour while I was on run. So that was quite an interesting video. If you haven't seen it, look, I'll put a link up there and you can go and watch that. But this is going to be fiddly, I'm sure it is, but we are certainly going to need glue, and I'm guessing we probably are going to need our magnifying glasses for this as well. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Now we've got some tiny details in this one, and the first thing I'm going to be taking out, as you can just see there on the close-up, is a washer. We need a washer. We're also going to need this black detail that we've got here. I'll see if I can name these parts for you. This one's just called the control grip. So I'm just cutting this detail off here and here as well. And there we go, that's the control grip. And we need the control column, which comes in this stage, which looks just like that. And we're also going to need one of the screws, which comes in this stage, which is a PWB screw. Now those screws are the ones with the little flanges on top. So I've got one of them as well. So I've pretty much got everything we need here to secure this together. And the way this is going to go, we've got the control grip first. Then we're going to be putting on the control column, looking like that. It's going to go this way round. And that's going to go over the top of that sort of lug that we got there. Then we're going to be putting a screw through these, which basically is the flanged PWB screw. But on top of that, we're going to be putting one of these little tiny washers. So I am conscious of trying to hold everything together. I'm going to line that up there, and then I think I'll offer the screw to this section. So let's see how that works. Well, the screw has bitten, so we'll tighten that up. And there we go. That's nice and tight, but it still enables this to turn, as you can see, and have movement. Now holding it this way around, you can see I've got a lug pointing upwards here. We want to put these pneumatic hoses in, and they're going to go, as you can see, we've got sort of like a rectangular lug, whoops, just on the bottom there. That's going to go into that section just there. Now we don't need to swamp this in glue. I do have my glue ready here actually. I'm just going to put some just into that section just there, where this part is actually going to fit, and it's just going to be held in just onto that one place there. Now that's just gone in absolutely perfectly straight away. So that's pneumatic hoses in. Now we're going to be taking this control column and we're going to be putting it into the base of the cockpit. Now this is metal. Quite simply, we need to make sure this is the front, this will be the back. So we're going to turn it upside down. We want to put this in sideways to get it through the middle there. Turn it, and it just sits into that recess there. So it's this way round, if you can see it at the bottom there. Because obviously we want the pipes facing the pilot there, but we need to keep this into place. Now to do that, we need to put a cap just over the top of there, and I'll just gently lie that down because that is actually on the sprue here, and it's this detail here. So we get this cut off. 1 and 2. Oh, it's actually being held on by 3. You can see that. So holding that securely where it goes, I'm just going to put this part over the top, and it actually goes with the lip facing towards the rear of the cockpit. So it's going to go on that way just like that. And that's going to be held in by 1.6 times 4mm screws, which are the silver flat end or flat headed ones here. So I'll put the first one in. Excellent. And one more just on the other side here. And then that's going to keep the control column in place. Just like that. But because it is on a hinge, it does mean that the control column, as you can see, can move up and down. And obviously this section at the top moves as well. Now we need this lever, which is on the sprue, which is just this one here. So I'll get that cut off now. And be careful when you cut it, because it does have some little tabs at the side there. So get these all off. I have got my glasses on to notice that. And we have got to put this on the little tab that we can see just at the bottom of the control arm. Now when we put this in, we want to hold this as close to the edge as we possibly can, because we don't want this snapping off. So let's get this in. And there we go. As you can see, we've got the control arm in place now. It is able to go up and down on its own, just like that. Now we need to cut part F from the frame, which looks just like this. So again, I'm just using my glasses to make sure I cut exactly where it needs to come off the sprue, like that. So what we want to do then is we want to turn this around the other way, so it's upside down, and we want to put this section here just over the control arm, so that it fits in the recess at the back, just like that. Then we need to secure this into place by these two tabs here. Now these came on the sprue, and they'll just go over the top, 1 and 2, just like that. Get that lined up, and they're going to be secured in with a KM 1.6 times 3mm screws. These are really tiny ones which come in this pack with the black screws here. So I'm going to keep this upright while I try and open these. As soon as I've got a couple in, it'll be a lot easier. Let's put the first one in here. That's one in. And here's the second one. The second one, I've got steady hands today. That's 2. Let's get the other 2 out here. These are very tiny screws, these ones. Okay, here's the next one. 3. One more. And here's number 4. Nice and tight. When that's in, it should look like that from the bottom and that from this side. And as you can see, it enables that to go up and down and keep quite sturdy in place there. Now this is the excellent bit. This is where we're going to take the cockpit. As you can see, we've got 2 holes, 2 lugs, sorry, just at the bottom there. Going to fit in these 2 holes here. Now when we put that in, I'm just going to put it in exactly as it goes here, and on the other side. You'll notice that the frame that we built rests on the back here absolutely perfectly. And what we want to do is turn this upside down. So I'm going to hold that into place. I'm going to put 2 screws into these holes here and here, which are the small black ones that we just had in that pack. With the small silver ones, so they look like that. These screws are 1.7 by 7mm, so I'll put the first one in here, and that's going to make sure this cockpit is nice and strong in the cockpit frame here. Here's the second one, and there we go. Look, that's the chair in. That looks excellent. Look, nice and tight, all in there. Now we need another lever, which is the last thing on this sprue, I believe. Yep, I don't think there's anything else on there. So we're going to cut this lever off here. Use my glasses because I want to make sure that I'm not cutting off the details that I need. It's got sort of like a silver end to it, so you don't want to cut that off. So that looks just like that. Now this is going to lean in a direction when you actually put it in. It's actually going to go into this hole just there, and as you can see, you've got the corresponding lug on the other end here, but we want to make sure it's leaning towards the control arm there. So do a test fit on it, and then when you see how it goes, make sure that it is actually leaning that way. If you've got it the wrong way, it will be leaning towards the chair, which you don't want. So I'm just going to line this up again. It's that way round. Put this in just like that, and there we go. That's the next control arm in there. And now, I love it when things come together. Sound like an 18 quote. We're going to put this whole thing in the canopy that we got here for the cockpit and the seat. So holding it this way round, what we're going to do is turn this upside down. We're going to drop this into here. Just like that. Fits absolutely perfectly. Just lining up the lugs on each side here and here at the front. You heard that click in. We need to secure this with screws in these points here. The screws we're going to be putting in here are KM 1.6mm screws, which are the silver flat end ones again. So these are the ones that we always tend to use on these frame sections. So I'll put 2 at the end here first. That's 1. Number 2 here. Excellent. Then 2 at the back here. 1. And finally, last one, going into the other side here, 2. And that is all there is to do in that stage. And oh my God, how detailed does that look? I'm going to show you on the close-up camera here. From the back, from the side, up above, down below, and from the bulkhead side there. Wow, absolutely brilliant. Very happy with that. That was a very fulfilling episode. I really enjoyed that, and it's a shame that we're not going to have anything to do in issue 22. But we will get onto these and catch up, because issue 23 does come out today, so I'll get that, and hopefully we can get that out towards the end of the week. But I really do hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.